Welcome to my channel. I am Ben, the business analyst expert. In today's video, we are going to talk about the story of David Green, which is a testimonial on how to build wealth with purpose and meaning. Whether you're starting a business or looking to advance your career, these principles will transform how you approach making money as a Christian. What if I told you that one of America's wealthiest billionaires starts every business meeting with prayer? In a world where success and faith are often viewed as separate paths, David Green stands out as a remarkable exception. As the founder of Hobby Lobby, David Green built a $9 billion-plus empire while keeping God at the center of everything he does. And today, I'm going to show you the 4 biblical principles David Green used to build his wealth that you can apply to your own financial journey. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified on future videos. David Green's story begins humbly. Like many great success stories do, in 1970 he started Hobby Lobby in his garage with just $600. That's right, $600. He took a small loan and his passion for arts and crafts and turned it into what we know today as one of America's largest privately owned retail chains. From that tiny garage operation, Hobby Lobby has grown to over 900 stores nationwide, employing tens of thousands of people. The company is now valued at over $9 billion, making David Green a billionaire several times over. But what's truly remarkable isn't just what David Green built, but how he built it. While many business tycoons follow conventional wisdom, Green's approach has been anything but conventional. Principle 1. Stewardship over ownership. At the core of David Green's business philosophy is this powerful belief: God owns it all. Now, this isn't just a nice spiritual saying for Green, it's the fundamental principle that drives every business decision he makes. In his own words, Green says, "I don't care if you're in business or out of business. God owns it all." This mindset completely transforms how he views his wealth. Instead of seeing himself as the owner of a $9 billion company, Green views himself as a steward, someone entrusted to manage resources that ultimately belong to God. So how can you apply this principle to your own financial journey? Start by shifting your mindset from accumulation to stewardship. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" ask yourself, "How can I better manage the resources God has entrusted to me?" This plays out in practical ways. When making business decisions, Green doesn't just consider the profit margin. He asks, "How would God want me to use these resources?" For example, when deciding whether to open on Sundays, typically one of the most profitable days in retail, Green chose to keep all Hobby Lobby stores closed, allowing employees time for worship and family. As David Green himself puts it, "We're not owners, we're stewards, doing our best with what we've been entrusted with." This perspective changes everything. Principle 2. Generosity as a business strategy. The second principle that sets David Green apart is his radical approach to generosity. While most businesses aim to maximize profits for shareholders, Green has committed to donating over 50% of Hobby Lobby's profits to charitable causes. Let me share a story that illustrates this principle in action. In 2017, Green donated $500 million to fund the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. Many business advisors would call this poor financial stewardship, but Green's generosity didn't hurt his business. It propelled it forward. The publicity generated goodwill among Christian consumers, and the company continued to grow despite giving away such massive sums. This aligns perfectly with the biblical principle found in Luke 6, verse 38, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap." How can you incorporate this principle of generosity into your own business or career? Start by designating a percentage of your income specifically for giving. Maybe it's 10%, maybe it's more. The amount matters less than the commitment to making generosity a non-negotiable part of your financial plan. What's counterintuitive about this approach is that generosity often leads to greater prosperity. When you give freely, you operate from a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. This affects how you make decisions, how you treat others, and ultimately, how others respond to you. Principle 3. Values-based decision-making. The third principle that guided David Green to billions is unwavering values-based decision-making. Perhaps the most famous example of this was Hobby Lobby's Supreme Court case. When the Affordable Care Act mandated that companies provide certain contraceptives that Green believed violated his religious beliefs, he chose to stand firm, even facing potential penalties of $1.3 million per day. The case ultimately went to the Supreme Court, where Hobby Lobby won in a landmark 5-4 decision. What's remarkable is that Green was willing to risk everything, potentially his entire business empire, to stand by his values. But values-based decision-making isn't just about the big, headline-making choices. It's about consistently aligning your daily business practices with your faith. So how can you implement this in your work life? Here's a simple framework. Before making any significant business decision, ask yourself 3 questions. First, does this align with biblical principles? Second, would I be comfortable explaining this decision to my church community? And third, does this decision honor God? Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you're considering a marketing strategy that would involve exaggeration about your product's benefits. The strategy might boost sales in the short term, but applying this values-based framework would lead you to reject it in favor of honest marketing, even if it means slower growth. Principle 4. Prayer-Centered Leadership. The fourth and final principle that guided David Green to billions is prayer-centered leadership. Green is known for beginning every executive meeting with prayer, seeking God's guidance before making important business decisions. There's a powerful story about how this played out during the 2008 financial crisis. As retail businesses across America were closing their doors, Green gathered his executive team. Instead of focusing solely on financial strategies, they began with extended prayer. Green felt led to maintain all staff positions despite dropping sales, a decision that defied conventional business wisdom. The result? While competitors were cutting costs through layoffs, Hobby Lobby maintained employee morale and loyalty. When the economy recovered, they were positioned for explosive growth while others were still rebuilding their workforce. How can you incorporate prayer into your own work life? Here's a simple 3-step process. First, set aside specific times each day to pray about your work or business. This could be first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, or before important meetings. Second, be specific in your prayers about the decisions you're facing. Don't just ask for success. Ask for wisdom, clarity, and guidance with particular challenges. Third, practice listening prayer. After presenting your concerns to God, take time to quietly listen for His guidance. Sometimes this comes as a scripture that comes to mind, a sense of peace about a particular direction, or wisdom that arrives unexpectedly. David Green showed us that when we put God first in our business, make room for divine inspiration, and practice radical generosity, there's no limit to what God can do through us. These 4 principles, stewardship over ownership, generosity as a strategy, values-based decision-making, and prayer-centered leadership, aren't just nice religious ideas. They're practical approaches that can transform your financial journey. Share in the comments how God has guided your business decisions, and let's learn from each other's experiences. If you found value in today's video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building wealth with purpose. I'd love to connect with you in the comments below. Until next time, remember that true success comes not just from what you build, but how you build it. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done it yet, and don't forget to click the notification button. I hope you guys learned and enjoyed this video. Thank you, and have a great day.